Good afternoon and welcome to the Kerry Garden Show. Alan Finn here, just at the reception desk in Boyles of Killorglin's Garden Centre, where everything is looking beautiful. I hope your garden's looking beautiful. And do remember, if you have any questions that you'd like answered, just leave them in the comment section below. And do remember to hit a like. I'm not actually working here, I'm just kind of helping out. But one person who is working here and our gardening expert for today is Trish. Now let's go and find her. Well, we're here in Boyles of Killorglin, and again it's myself and Trish who are going to be going through all things shrubbing and a few questions as well too this week. How are you doing, Trish?
I'm very good, thank you. Yes, we're going to a few shrubs and climbers, and new composts have come into the market
absolutely,
as well.
And we've planted ourselves, do you like that? Right in amongst all the beautiful roses here at Boyles of Killorglin. But as you mentioned, we're going to start with some shrubbing because you were saying to me just there before we started that it's a very good time to start planting your shrub beds.
That's right, yeah. I'm not pushing out the summer too much, that we're not going to get sun or anything like that.
Yeah.
But you can start planning your shrub beds now. There'll be a lot more selection of shrubs for sale in garden centres now this time of the year.
So it's as much convenience as it is timing, you know, because there's a lot of them in the garden centres.
There is. So you'd have a good selection. Like, say for example, now I have azaleas here. We have them in all the different colours, the pinks, the purples, the whites. They're not flowering this time of the year. I know usually we'd be showing things that are flowering at the moment, but we're planning ahead now. So these actually flower April, May. So if you were doing up a shrub bed, you want plants to flower April, May. You want ones that are flowering at the moment, that will flower in the autumn, just to plan it all out. So what we said before, bring in measurements, bring in photographs, and we'll be able to plan it out for you here at the garden centre and pick out the shrubs.
And even
for
I'm
you.
sure if any of the listeners and viewers on Facebook would want to send in pictures of their garden, we could try and get around to them as well too. So that'd be great.
Yes, we could indeed.
So the planning, as we've said so many different times, between your flower beds and your shrub beds, it is very, very important. And again, all you're trying to do is continue that colour.
Yes.
So you're setting, you're basically putting down what's going to benefit next year.
Next year, or even in the autumn. And the last couple of weeks we've been doing plants that have been in flower and perennials, and they're the ones that you will be putting in amongst these shrubs.
Yeah.
So again, when you're planning your shrub bed, you have the green leaf, you have the red leaf, you have the variegated leaves. So try bring in a bit of that as well. Now, if your shrub beds are large, you're better off planting them maybe in groups of 3.
Okay.
If your shrub beds are small, you can put in a few different varieties of different ones.
Yeah, because you always say that it's in, the impact of, like, say 2 or 3 together.
Yes.
It's much more powerful than one on its own.
Oh, it is. And
but it depends on the size.
It depends on the size. If you've got a big area, there's no problem in doing that. But if you've only got a small area, you can put in a few different types of shrubs. So I'm just going to go through a few here now. We've got the berberis. Now, anybody that's on Facebook Live, you'll be actually able to see the different colours we have. This one is a lovely limey green new shoots. Now, the berberis are thorny.
Okay.
But, I'm catching it there now.
You're still holding it,
I'm still holding it.
It's a soft thorn,
It's a soft thorn,
Let's
is right.
go that way,
and then I'll find one that we can...
Oh!
So, and then you have this one here, that's a beautiful one.
That is stunning now. That one really kind of catches the eye.
The name of that one is Berberis Inspiration.
Inspiration,
now, in it, it's got kind of, I suppose, like a speckled pink going through a purple leaf.
Yeah.
And all of these ones that I have here in front of me, they're all dwarf ones, meaning they'll only grow to about 1.5 feet high.
Okay.
So to be ideal, they do lose their leaves in the winter, all right?
Okay.
But the stem of it is there. They will come back next spring again.
Right.
You could make even a formal border around the bed with that then as well, and you have all the lovely different colours.
And as you said, the fact that it's just it's nice and low.
It's nice and low.
Lovely as
yes,
kind of an edger around even your driveway or something, a little kind of to protect.
And that you have your bigger plants behind it. Now I have another lovely one here then as well. Everybody has a dark area and a shady area, and they'd love to brighten it up, and they're coming in. Now, I'd love that flower, this flower, and they can't put on it. But this one is Euonymus harlequin.
Harlequin.
So you can see it here. It's got a lovely variegated green leaf, but the new shoots are nearly white. So you can imagine that now in a dark spot, it'd brighten it up straight away.
You know, it's one word you use a lot, Trish. Just give us an explanation of variegated. When you say variegated, what exactly does it mean?
So what it is that the main leaf of it is green, but then the variegation would be either the white or the gold would be coming in through it.
So it's the different colours that kind of come through.
Exactly. Now, whether it comes at the side of it, some of the leaves would have it just at the side, the edges would be, or else this one has like a speckle. You can see the green and the white speckled in together, and as I say, the new shoots then are pure white.
It's beautiful because you can see the different levels, and even with the inspiration as well too. Like it starts down at the bottom, you can just see it's green, and then as it moves up the plant, it gets more and more colourful. It's
exactly, and it's
lovely,
the newer, fresher growth that has all these lovely colours on it.
Okay, so the older the leaves are, the more green they are.
The more green they are, exactly.
Right,
so it's the new growth.
So here was me thinking that it was the white coming through the green, but it's actually the green that comes through the other way.
If you see that now, the green at the bottom, and this is the new growth for this year, and it's pure white.
Sure, it all makes sense when you say it like that.
We have to talk about it. Now with this one, it's actually evergreen then as well, meaning it keeps its leaf all year round. So that's an invaluable little shrub.
And so you're saying it'll work in shady areas?
Yes,
soil.
and it will do in sun as well. It doesn't like too wet of a soil.
Okay, so that's one thing.
Now it will take moisture, but not swampy ground or anything like that. But it will take a bit of moisture.
Great, so that's something that I'm sure so many of our listeners and viewers will have.
Loads of people come in for shading.
You just want to get, and I think it's probably a very common question you get asked in here.
It is, and there wouldn't be a great amount of plants that will do in shade. There is another one, it's the spotted laurel. If you wanted something a bit taller, it'll grow to about 9 to 10 feet high. Again, that's a speckled green with gold going through it.
Oh, lovely.
And so that will do in a shady area as well. And then, as we always said when we did the hydrangeas there, they'll do in light shade, depending.
Light shade,
so I suppose when planting your shrubs, you do have to keep the aspect in mind, as in, does the sun shine there? Is it shaded? What soil type I have? Like the azaleas will only do in a peaty acid soil, they won't do in a limey soil. So we have little soil testing kits inside.
Yeah, we mentioned that the other week. I was very interested in that.
So if you're starting up new shrub beds, just take a little sample. It's easy to take it, and you'll know then forever as to what soil or what you can be planting.
What part of the area? Okay. Now, what's this lovely little one over here? Now,
that's a nice one. Now it's a hypericum, and it's magical.
Innocence.
Yes,
and it's also got under St. John's wort. Are we back to another?
We are
another
indeed.
supplement that you might use for herbal remedies.
This is the St. John's wort. Now, there's different forms of these that you can actually get as well.
Okay.
This particular one has beautiful yellow flowers just coming out in it now. They're in bud at the moment, so it's a late flowering shrub. It flowers from July up until about October.
Okay.
But the beauty of that one is that it has lovely berries on it after. Now, you can see by the picture card there, if you're looking on Facebook, they're lovely little kind of pink, and they just kind of come up out of the plant, and they are absolutely fabulous.
I can actually see one in here where the flower has kind of gone back, and one of the berries is it's still yellow, but it's just starting to turn a tinge of pink.
Yes, exactly, and it's actually at its best when the berries come out. And the flowers are beautiful as well, but the berries are fabulous. Now that's another one can do in a light shady area and can grow to about 2.5 feet high.
2.5 feet.
You can get other hypericums or St. John's wort as well. You can get a variegated one that's spreading. That's Hypericum tricolour, and then you can get the common one that you might see everywhere. Grows to about 3-4 feet, and that's a lovely one then as well. And they're quite hard.
Colours.
All yellow.
All yellow.
All the flowers are all yellow.
And then, but they go the pink. The pink thing.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice, very nice.
Now, apart from the shrub bed, we've also got the ugly walls, the ugly fences, the oil tanks that all need a bit of coverage.
We covered this a good few, I'd say maybe a month or two ago, but you have literally. They've come back into a lot of garden centres now.
They have. We've got a full new stock of clematis in at the moment, and honeysuckles, and there's different climbers. They've all just come back in now as well. Now with the clematis, it's like the shrubs. There's ones that will flower early in the season, there are ones that will flower June, July, there are ones that will flower later. So if you're coming in, look for the advice. See when you want it to be in its full flower. Now there is also repeat flowering ones. Now when I say that, I mean that it might flower in May, June, it'll stop, and then it'll repeat flowering in July, August. So that you kind of have an extension of the season from the one plant.
Okay, that's fantastic,
Now the trick with clematis when you're planting, they like shade around the roots of it. So when you're planting deep. Now, even though you've got the foliage, when you come in, just ask me as well in the garden centre if you're coming in to buy it, go up about 4 or 5 inches of the foliage and bury that into the soil.
Okay, so you would actually dig down an extra 4 or 5 inches.
Exactly.
'Cause
Not just to the
I was just wondering, do you build up the bed?
No,
you dig it
you
into
could
it.
dig into it. Usually what you do with shrubs, climbers or anything, you plant to the level of the pot that you buy it. But
Yes.
with the clematis, you go up an extra 4 or 5 inches.
Okay.
If you can't do that and you still need shade around the roots of it, just put stones around it or bark, or you could pile up a little bit of compost up around it then as well.
Yeah, okay.
Now with the clematis, they do need support.
Yes.
They're not self-clinging, so trellises we have in stock here in the garden centre, you can put them up along that. At the start, just twine them around them, but they have little what's called tendricles.
Yeah, you can see them.
Yeah.
They're just kind of, they're like feelers.
They're like fingers
They're
and
looking. They're looking to grab onto something.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they will wind themselves then around it afterwards. And again, they come in all different colours. There's a lovely Nellie Moser one there, which is a pale pink with a deeper pink
White
stripe
around
going
it.
through
Yeah,
it.
it's lovely.
You've got the Ville de Lyon, which is kind of a winey colour, but the stamens in the middle of that are absolutely fabulous when they're in flower. They just poke up into the yellow.
Beautiful. Yeah. And the honeysuckle.
The
then?
honeysuckle, oh, that's always a favourite. Yeah,
Yes.
the honeysuckle, they're very, very hardy. You even see them growing wild through the ditches then as well. And we do also have a yellow one, and the one I have here in my hand is a pink one. Again, another plant that actually needs support. So it needs a trellis or run wires along the wall. The yellow one is fragrant as well, so there's a lovely scent off that, so it's nice then as well. And they're very, very hardy.
Okay, great, fantastic.
And we also have one more here then as well, which
last
is
one.
your pyracantha. Now, this will be coming into berry in the autumn.
Okay.
You get 2 seasons out of the pyracantha. You have the flowers, the flower in April, May, white flowers, profuse, just covered in it.
Right.
And then in the autumn time, you've got the
red
berries.
berries.
You can get them in red, you can get them in orange, and
Yeah.
you can get them in yellow.
And I think I remember asking before, they're not, are they for the birds? The birds won't pick them at them?
They don't seem to go near them.
Yeah.
I'd say it's the bitterness
of the taste. Yeah.
that
So
they
you're
don't go near
guaranteed
it.
the colour will stay, the birds won't
Exactly,
take it.
yeah.
That's
No, they
good.
might take a few, but
A few,
majority of
yeah.
them,
They'll
yeah,
just go,
that'd be fine.
don't like that.
Exactly.
And size, how big can that grow?
That can grow anything up to 8, 9 feet. Now with the pyracantha, it's actually thorny as well, and
Right.
it does actually grow out quite bushy.
Yeah, so you need a good space
You
for
need
it.
a good space. Like some places you've got the wall and you don't have much before you're walking along a path. You can't put the pyracantha there because it'll be sticking out, and so it can go anything out to 2 feet wide.
Yeah.
But they can be controlled as well if you get it. Cut them when they're young. It keeps the shoots nice and young,
Right.
and you're able to
Keep it tidier.
Keep it tidier.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Now, the last thing you wanted to talk about is, and something again that you've had a lot of demand for,
Yes.
is the weed block,
The weed block,
control.
yeah. When you're putting down your shrub beds, a lot of people, we're all busy now. We don't have time for weeding. Put down your weed block. It stops the weeds from coming up.
Yeah.
It's not 100% because obviously you'll get weed seeds falling on top of it and
Of
they will
course.
root. But like that now, it's been impossible to get that for the last month or two. We've
Okay.
plenty of it in stock now at the moment.
Great. Excellent. Now we're going to finish off with with our
We have new composts.
Composts.
Yes, we have indeed. We've got certified organic composts and they're Irish. We've got a multi-purpose compost. Now, people on Facebook, I have a lovely one here. It is so fine.
Wow, it's really fine.
So
yeah.
it can be used for seed sowing, it can be used for pots, and it can be used for the ground. Now with this particular one, it's from worm casts. Now what it does, it actually strengthens up the root of your plant, and it makes the plant good and healthy for growing. It wouldn't be so much for bringing on flowers. It's excellent for your vegetables as well.
Right.
But it's peat free. A lot of people now are looking
so
for
peat free is a big thing as well too,
It's a
obviously,
huge
because
thing
people
for
are
the
trying to
environment.
protect the bogs.
Exactly.
And because we're trying to obviously be less dependent on them.
Yeah, and it's Irish as well. It's from Donegal, and
Great.
that is a beautiful one, and we have that in stock now as well.
What's it called?
It's Living Green.
Living Green.
Multi-purpose compost.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So,
98
and as I say, peat free.
Yeah. And the other one here is someone that has definitely been mentioned, because as soon as you said, when I saw the bag, I was like, oh yeah, you mentioned that quite a bit. It's the G-Up.
The G-Up, yes.
Yeah.
Now the G-Up is a soil enricher. So if you wanted to enrich your soil, if it was quite poor, you can put down your G-Up. And what's in that, in the name of it says, it's horse manure.
Oh, so it's not quite giddy up.
No, it's G-Up.
They weren't going to call it that, no.
No, definitely not. And that's an excellent soil enricher. Absolutely fabulous.
And another thing I've got over here beside me, Trish, and is something that I think more and more people, I see even businesses as well as people are looking at in their garden, is artificial grass.
Artificial grass, yeah.
Save on the lawnmowers.
Well, like that, and it saves on the wetness. Like a lot of people are dining outside, and they have barbecue areas, and the artificial grass is great because you're not walking out in dampish grass or anything like that, and you said you're not harming the grass, so the artificial grass is fantastic. Even if you had clothesline or anything and you want to
put it under,
put it underneath it, a play area, anything like that.
Underneath the swings and stuff would be good.
Exactly, yeah.
So this is a 3 metre by 1 metre roll.
Just rolls out now.
No maintenance.
Exactly.
Maintenance free.
No maintenance
no
at
maintenance.
all. No maintenance at all. And like with the artificial grass now, they're all quite realistic. Like if you look at that, it's called the pile on it. It actually looks like grass.
Yeah, so, that's obviously that would be my big fear, is that it wouldn't quite match the garden.
No, it looks like grass. There's a good pile on that. So again, there's all different ranges that you can get in that, but that one we find particularly good. The colour is good in it then as well.
10-year guarantee.
Yes.
Good stuff. Okay, well listen, Trish, that's brilliant. Lots of great stuff here again on the Garden Show. Thanks very much for everything. That's pretty much it here from Trish and myself. Do remember to watch the video on Facebook and leave a comment and hit the old like button there to make sure that you keep up with us every single week. For myself, Alan, Trish and everyone here in Boyles of Clorgland, we'll see you next week. Happy gardening.